prepare. You remove the outer layer of your heart, and your heart is soft before God. If you will humble yourself before the Lord, then He will strengthen you for the battle. So you prepare your heart for the battle. And so if you're not prepared, it's going to be too late. You don't wait till you get in the midst of the struggle to decide whether or not you're going to stand. No, you prepare your heart for the struggle way ahead of time. Like we talked about Quantia on last week, going out into the water. She had already decided before her ankles got wet where she was going. So when she got in the middle of the water, and the water had come up to her waist and come up to her shoulders, and she was struggling to make it through the water, because you can only move so fast when you're in the midst of the struggle, because it seemed like all the forces are against you. She had already determined where she was going. Where she was going to the horizon. She hadn't got there yet. So no matter that the water was coming up to her shoulders, up to her neck, no matter that the water and the forces were pressing against her, she had already made up her mind where she was headed. And she continued to go. We talked about the fact, hey, if my father and I had not run after her, she would have been underwater. Because she was still going in that direction. She wasn't about to quit. She wasn't about to give up. She wasn't even about to slow down. Her mind was made up where she was going. You'll follow me? And so you've got to have a made up mind. You've got to prepare your heart to seek God. You're with me? And so we see in 2 Chronicles chapter 12 verse 14, where King Rehoboam did evil. It says he did evil because he did not prepare his heart to seek God. Now remember, we're still in praise and worship. We're talking about praise and worship. How do you offer God perfected praise? Well, you can't give God perfected praise if you're not perfect. If you don't have a perfect heart, you can't give what you don't have. You can't offer God perfected praise if you're not perfect. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Somebody said nobody's perfect. That's a lie from the enemy. Somebody said, no, you can't be, ain't nobody perfect. That's a lie. We already proved it from the scriptures that that's a lie. We looked at several people in the Word that were perfect. We looked at several people. Y'all remember some of them? We looked at Enoch. Enoch walked with God and was not. God took him. He didn't die. He never died. He just went up to be with the Lord. He was perfect. Right? We looked at Abraham. Abraham was perfect. We looked at Job. Job was perfect. We looked at, who else we looked at? David. Man after God's own heart. All these people, the scripture, we looked at it where the scripture said these people were perfect. And we can't just say, well, this because these were Old Testament people. These were people back in the Old Testament days, old Bible days. That's not why they were perfect. Because we saw that even in the New Testament, where Jesus says, be ye perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect. Now, why would Jesus tell you to do something that you can't do? Is he trying to set you up to fail? Is he deluded? Maybe he thinks more of you than he should? No. Jesus knows exactly what he's talking about when he says and commands us to be perfect. And for anybody to say nobody is perfect, they are lying, or they're speaking in ignorance because they don't know any better. I'll put it like that. Because I've said it many times before myself. Because that's what I've been taught. Nobody's perfect. But it's not true. It's a lie from the enemy. Now, why would the enemy try to convince us that we can't be perfect? Why would he try to get us to believe that, yeah, we're supposed to strive to be perfect, but we can't never really get there? We're supposed to try our best to do all things as good as we can, and in the back of our minds still know that no matter how hard we try to reach perfection, we can never get there. So wait a minute. If I can never get then what am I trying to get it for? Why would I try so hard to attain or to get something knowing in the back of my mind that I can't never really get it? How hard am I going to try to achieve something if I know that no matter how hard I try to do it, I'll never be able to do it? I won't really try. I'll continue to say, yeah, we're supposed to do right. We're supposed to be as good as we can. We're supposed to be like Jesus. But nobody can really be like Jesus because Jesus is the Son of God. Well, if Jesus is the Son of God and you say that you're saved and you're born again, whose son are you? You're not the Son of God? Whose son are you? If you're saying that Jesus was perfect because he was the Son of God, well, whose son are you? Maybe you like the scribes and the Pharisees. Jesus told them, he said, you are the son of Satan because you're a liar and you lie just like him. So he's your father. But if God is your father, then you would be like him. Hello? If Satan is your father, then you're going to live your life and do the things that he says. If God is your father, then you're going to live your life like him and you're going to do what he says. But you can't have both of them as your father. You're with me? And so the enemy, why would the enemy try to deceive you into thinking that you can't be perfect? That nobody is really perfect and you can never be perfect. The reason why is because he knows that if he can get you to believe that no matter how hard you try to be perfect, you'll never get there. If he can get you to believe that, then he has already undermined your faith. So that even though you might say, yeah, I'm doing the best I can, you're really not doing the best you can because you don't even believe that you can do the best you can. You believe that you can try to do good, but you can never really be good. You're following? That's the enemy has undermined the faith of not just them that are in the world, but many that claim to be children of God. Jesus said, be ye perfect. So how do we become perfect? We become perfect by preparing our hearts to seek God. You don't wait till you're in the midst of a struggle to decide to do what's right. You decide ahead of time. You commit your heart unto God so that when things get hard and you're tempted to quit, you check yourself, you check your heart. No, I'm not going to quit. Because I had already made up my mind that no matter what comes, what goes, for God I live, for God I die. Now, if the struggle gets hard and you're tempted, and then you decide, well, no, I thought I could make it, but I was wrong. I really can't. Then you really didn't prepare your heart to seek God. Prepare means you make your heart ready ahead of time. So if your heart is ready for the struggle, then when the struggle comes, you can handle it. If you can't handle it, that means you're not ready for it. If you're not ready for it, then you did not prepare your heart for the struggle ahead of time. You're with me?